Take a deep, deep breath. It's snippet time. Hello, gals, and welcome to Sober Living Snippets, where we live alcohol-free so we can heal our relationships, feel youthful again, and ditch regret and shame. Wouldn't that be nice? All of it? Well, that's what we're here to do. Hello, everyone. I'm Becca Jacobson, and I got a snippet for you. Question for you, really. Why do we drink? Why do we drink? I don't ask that actual exact question, but we all wonder it, you know. I mean, really, you don't walk up to people and say, why do you drink? Why do we drink? Why do we drink? Well, I talk to a lot of women, and it sounds like their story's the same as my story, so honestly, our stories are all so similar. You know, the details vary, but our relationship with alcohol is just such a broken record. It's unbelievable. But anyway, if you don't know that, I'm here to tell you, your relationship with alcohol is just so familiar to so many other women. I hope you know that. But today, I'm going to talk about the most common reason I have seen why women drink. It's why I drank, and it's also why people overeat. It's why people binge watch Netflix. It's why people do extreme sports. It's why we try to escape. Because all of those things I just listed are to escape. So what are we trying to escape? All of us. Like, I'm talking humanity. In fact, one could argue, and I would agree with this, that escape is a need. We have a need. Humans need to escape. We need a respite. We need a break. And not just a break where, you know, that's what you get the weekend for. We need escape. And why? Well, for starters, life is difficult, isn't it? It's always challenges. The body and the mind, the spirit needs an opportunity to regenerate. It needs to get away from the everyday. And so we use television, we use social media, we use food, we use vacations, we use shopping, we use gambling, we use alcohol. That's what we use. So I could say to you, well, what we're really escaping is emotions. It's emotionally based. We have emotions that make us uncomfortable, and we don't like that feeling, and so we are looking to get rid of it. The actions that we take are based on a desire to move towards pleasure or away from pain. All of us. The actions we take are a desire to move away from pain or towards pleasure. And so in our case, we're actually doing both. I'm going to move away from pain by having this drink, and it's also going to feel pleasurable. So it's a double whammy, right? So no wonder we use vices, whatever you want to call them, kind of an old-fashioned word, but you know what I mean. To escape, to get away from pain and get closer to pleasure, we overeat or gamble, or it gives us a high. We get the dopamine hit, right? That's what we're doing. So now I could say to you, well, you know, if you were to learn how to meditate properly, you could get that same feeling. But it takes so long. It takes you've got to practice meditation for months, maybe years to get there. And in fact, meditation is hard work. I love meditation. I ask my gals that join my program, I ask them to try and do 5 minutes a day, even 2 minutes a day. I'm not saying don't meditate, but it's not going to stop you from having a drink in the moment, not unless you're an expert meditator. So what else can we do? Well, here's the thing, and we've talked about it here on the show. A month ago or so, approximately, we did a little book study on a book called Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, written by David R. Hawkins. That letting go technique is the answer. I am becoming more and more convinced of this the longer I use it. Because unlike meditation, it's not difficult. It helps to be guided through it the first few times, and I teach that to my clients. I walk them through it. It's very simple. It's not as stressful as meditation, which is kind of a oxymoron, but I found meditation stressful because I was trying to stop my thoughts, which is impossible, right? I was doing it wrong. And then even when I learned how to do it, it was still really hard. Instead of stopping the thoughts, you just allow them to pass through. Well, that's hard, and I found it very stressful. Anyway, the letting go technique is easy. You just sit there and feel your emotions. But here's the thing. We have to be willing to feel the emotions we've been running away from all our lives. We have to be willing to feel fear, sadness, anger, negative emotions that we've been trying to drink away all our lives. We have to not only be willing to feel them, but even bring them on, even ask for more and say, okay, give it to me. I'm going to sit here and feel this emotion. Believe it or not, if we do that and we practice it over a little bit of time, it doesn't even take that long. I'm not talking months and years like meditation. I'm talking it can be done very quickly. If you do it right, some people it happens in one session. But what we do is we decide what would happen if I sat down and felt this fear that I'm feeling, or anxiety that I'm feeling, or sadness that I'm feeling, or anger that I'm feeling. We always react to those emotions the same way. We quickly try and stop them. Right? All of us. But what if we instead said, okay, let me feel that. Oh, I'm feeling some anxiety. Let me sit down and feel what it feels like. And then we even ask for a little more anxiety. Well, give me some more. You know why? Because as we feel the emotion, it's allowing the emotion, which is energy, by the way. Emotion is energy in motion. Emotion is energy in motion. So the energy, you feel anxiety, you feel fear, or you feel it in either your stomach, your solar plexus, your heart center, or your throat, or your forehead. You're going to feel it somewhere in the body. That feeling is energy in motion, filtered through a negative experience, and it feels scary. When we allow ourselves to feel it, and we breathe through it, might be crying your face off. The tears could flow. That's okay. Tears are very, very cleansing. What happens when we do that is emotion dissipates. It releases out of the body. And all of a sudden you sit there and you go, where'd it go? It's what the hell happened to my anxiety? What happened to my fear? What happened to that sadness? It's gone. Well, that's weird. That's what happens. And I speak from experience, but we have to be willing to do it. And it's not what we do. It is not what we do. We feel those emotions and immediately, in fact, we don't consciously think, oh, I'm feeling fear, I better do something. We just do it. It's just an automatic reaction. Or I'm stressed. I need to unwind, right? We have an automatic response to those emotions. And that is usually for us to get a drink, right? So I'm talking here about emotional releasing or letting go, as David R. Hawkins calls it. Others teach this as well. It's incredibly powerful. And you know what? I am becoming convinced that it is the solution to our problem. The cornerstone, I guess, would be better to put it. We need to do on top of it is recovery type of exercises. And recovery exercises are things like facing and reframing and dealing with our past so that we're not just being haunted over and over, and dealing with our relationships and dealing with issues that have come up, and on it goes. That's what we do in my 8-week program. We come in and we deal with all this stuff gently and compassionately, and learn to let go and breathe and do the self-care, and all of it together equals recovery. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, if I could just quit drinking, I'm here to say that's not enough. I wish it was. I wouldn't have had to drink all my life, but it isn't enough. It's just not enough. And if you're still saying to yourself, all I have to do is stop drinking, that's all I have to do, you're wrong. I'm here to tell you you're wrong. We got to get rid of that belief because that belief is going to keep you suffering for years and years and decades. That was my primary thought. If I could just stop drinking. It wasn't about the drinking. I was on a mission to escape, and alcohol doesn't do it. And you know that anyway. Today's motto is a repeat of Monday's. It is, because this is the same idea. Do you remember Monday's motto? Monday's motto was bring it on. Bring it on. And I say that again today because that's what we have to say to our scary emotions. Instead of running, we turn around and say, okay, bring it on. We don't have to do this in a hard warrior type of way. It can be done very gently. Sit down and breathe and just say, I can feel this emotion. It's a wonderful start. And when you're doing that in combination with recovery, your life will transform in ways you can't even imagine right now. And like I always say, I want that for you. Thanks for listening. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.